How are all you lovely people doing today? My name is John. Welcome to another episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A. In this series, I take your questions about the zombie storyline and I answer them. Whether it be a big, small, simple, or complex question, I'm more than happy to answer it. I implore you to leave questions down below. Maybe I'll see it, maybe I'll answer it, and you may even be in the next episode. Without further ado, let's get rolling. We're going to begin today's episode with a question from Organic Gamer, who asks, which of the buried Easter eggs is correct? Which one is the one that moves on? There isn't exactly a buried Easter egg that is correct and one that progresses with the storyline. Of course, we have not seen the zombie map to come out chronologically after Buried, although we can make some assumptions. Because the storyline diverges into two paths, it'd be very difficult for Treyarch to maintain both paths. And because they want to keep continuity, they probably wouldn't pick a side. What I'd imagine is Buried is actually the end of the zombie storyline as we know it, at least the linear storyline. As a result, there isn't really a path to pick. The storyline ends with either Richtofen taking total control or Maxis taking total control. And in both scenarios, neither the humans win. We're really just pawns in Richtofen and Maxis' game. That's what I'd imagine how Buried would end. Now, of course, some people think that Treyarch will probably end up siding with Richtofen, and Richtofen's side of the Easter egg will actually be the correct one in time, although we don't know for sure. Of course, when we look into prior zombie maps, there is the opportunity to take multiple routes in time. Let's say we look at Ascension. We could go to Ascension and we could either not do the Casimir Mechanism Easter egg, or we could do the Casimir Mechanism Easter egg. If we did the Easter egg, then we would continue on with the storyline that we normally have. If we didn't do the Easter egg, then the storyline doesn't progress at all. So in this sense, there already are diverging timelines in the zombie storyline, and Treyarch has always just picked a side. We may see them do that with the next game, although if I had my guess, I think Treyarch would probably just do something completely new in the next game. Moving on, we have a question from Jacob Jones, who asks, is Nuketown important to the storyline? Nuketown's important to the storyline, although not in the way we'd expect. It doesn't directly progress the storyline. Nuketown could be eliminated from the storyline and there would be no plot holes or major issues. Sure, we wouldn't exactly know about Marlton's origins, although that's sort of background information that we can live without. Nuketown provides us with an outside perspective. Most zombie maps either give us this perspective of our 4 original characters or the 4 new characters. But this provides us a point of view from somebody who isn't actually directly involved in the storyline, somebody who is just on Earth as all of this goes down. They're sort of living through this hell, and they're sort of out of the loop. They don't exactly know what's going on. So it gives us this idea of how Earth is handling this apocalypse. Meanwhile, we're also able to learn some information about Marlton. We find out that Marlton was in the Nuketown bunker. It gives us a little bit of background information on him, and while that is nice information to know, it doesn't directly progress the storyline. Hypothetically, we eliminated Nuketown from the zombie storyline. Well, there wouldn't be many plot holes. Sure, we wouldn't know too much about Marlton, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. Those are just little details to fluff up the storyline. We're going to end today's episode with a question from XXMegaHD, who asks, in the Origins intro, Richtofen is doing something to a brain. Is that Maxis' brain? If yes, what is he doing with it? This is indeed Dr. Maxis' brain. If you start off a game of Origins and you actually go to the table in front of where Richtofen was working, you'll see Maxis' brain, and then you can actually take that brain, put it in a quadrotor, and you'll actually be able to hear Dr. Maxis. So we know for a fact this is Dr. Maxis' brain, and Dr. Maxis was actually zombified. What happened was, during the outbreak, Dr. Maxis was bitten, but Richtofen understood the value of Dr. Maxis' brain. He wanted to preserve it so that it could live on and humans could continue to receive value from his vast knowledge and information that he knows. He then put it in the quadrotor so that Maxis would live on. That's why he strapped the zombie down to the chair. This zombie that was Dr. Maxis tried to cut open his brain and put it into a quadrotor. Now, unfortunately, this is when the outbreak begins and Richtofen was never able to fully complete his work, although we know for a fact that this was Richtofen. This was Maxis, I apologize, and he was trying to save him. Now, here's the thing. Many people know, as I'm sure you do, that Richtofen and Maxis do not get along, but remember, this is an alternate universe, an alternate timeline. They don't have the same animosity that we first saw in Dries. They haven't yet experienced all the things that happened. So In this scenario, Richtofen and Maxis are colleagues, neither of the two hate one another, and Richtofen is just trying to save Maxis's consciousness. With that, I think we're going to end this week's episode of the Zombie Storyline Q&A. If you enjoyed the video, found it interesting or informative, be sure to leave a like or subscribe. I upload Zombie Storyline videos every week, and I'd recommend you check them out. They're always a blast, and people seem to really enjoy them and find them informative, and I'm sure you will too. If you have a question and you would like it answered, I implore you to leave it down below. This series cannot work without your support, and if there's anything you want to know, no question is a stupid question, I'd be more than happy to let you know. Have a great day, and bye.